What's up, everybody? It's another edition of the Locals Only podcast. I'm Dixon, and today I'm joined by an artist that has really become a buzzword in Central New York over the last 12 months or so. You've heard him on the Morning Mess with Marty and Zanetta. You saw him live at 315 Day. He's got a brand new album set to drop this Friday. Syracuse, this is Jon Lunden. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and yourself, my friend?
I'm very excited. A, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. B, thank you for letting me hear the album before it comes out. Absolutely blown away by Lucky Numbers live at the Pantry. It'll see the light of day tomorrow at midnight, technically on Friday. I'm so excited to hear what the world thinks of this album because I know what I think of it, and man, absolutely mind blown.
Well, you were too kind, dude. I appreciate it. I was really excited to send it to you and get your thoughts on it. And I'm delighted to talk to you tonight. So thanks.
Well, the album itself, done, written, Public House has been on the air for about a year, I would say, roughly, give or take a month or so.
Yeah,
So
about that.
people have gotten super familiar with that song. One of the few that's been featured three times in the Locals Only Spotlight over the course of its run. That appears on this new album. And we've got the title track that's going to debut Sunday night at 11. I think it's going to absolutely put people's jaws on the floor. Uh, for me, there are moments where you hear recorded music and you think, yeah, they spent, man, hours and hours and hours and all kinds of crazy stuff. And you just get this big bombastic production. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, there is a moment where you just feel what the artist is feeling because it was captured so perfectly. And with the title track, Lucky Numbers, man, you've absolutely nailed it. And I think you've nailed it on all of these songs, but specifically on that one, there's an authenticity that bleeds through the speakers like something I have not heard in a very, very long time. And I think it makes you one of the honestly most true artists of this generation here in Central New York. There's an honesty to what you do that just permeates the art so well. And it makes you this very likable artist initially right off the get. There's just such a warmth to what you do. What are some things that influenced you and have led you down the path to be the artist Jon Lunden that we all know?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to thank you, man. That's really reassuring and kind. I'm blushing a little bit. But I mean, there's been myriad influences on the music, on the writing. Um, Growing up, my old man would play some really good stuff for us, and I know that that was like some of the first love of good writing and good songwriters. Like he had a in the car we had a Chris Christopherson record, and we had a Martin Sexton record, who is a Syracuse native too, and they're both fantastic songwriters. And I think that that was probably what sparked the initial love for really good writing. Um, but there's been a lot of other things. My sister Kayla is a huge influence on me, um, and we both kind of share a love for some like poetry and some prose, and I think that's played a part in both of our works. Um, but yeah, I guess that would be the short answer. I could go on for days about all the all the artists that have created stuff I love, you know.
Absolutely. And you can hear that myriad of artists in what you do. I hear in certain cases, like there's things that you do that remind me of Jim Croce, which given
Mm.
your age, right? Like unless your dad turned you on to that, you would have no idea.
Sweet
In
baby Jim.
modern terms, you remind me a lot of an artist like Medium Build, who is a storyteller, somebody who connects vividly with the words and can connect through an audience with your fingers, right? And the
Yeah.
electricity in the air. And they're vulnerable songs. They're honest and they're real. And in a world that we live in that is based on social media clicks and likes and whatever else, that's a rare thing to find in the music industry. And I think it makes you very special. And going back, your sister's amazingly talented as well.
Yeah.
Her single Junebug was in the Locals Only spotlight for a bit. She's in the mix on Locals Only. I look forward to what she puts out as well. And man, my brain, the minute I heard Junebug and then went back to reference Public House, it just made my brain explode with the possibility of what the two of you could do together.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. It's she lives down in Nashville and I'm up here. And I think about it every day how much more we would be doing together if there weren't the miles between us. And maybe that time will come. Either way, she takes my head clean off with every piece of art she creates. Um, and I I I definitely appreciate you spinning both of our stuff. It means a lot.
Listen, I am just a conduit between talented artist and an audience, right? Like there's, some people call it gatekeeping. I prefer to refer to it as curating,
Sure.
like in a space where I feel like the locals only show is not as much mine as it is the scenes. I have to pay close attention to what people are responding to and what people are connecting to. And those are the songs that get continually replayed. And yes, we use social media and the text line and all of those things. And it's very easy to suss out when somebody's mom and aunt and cousin all hit the text line within a minute of each other, right? Like, I get it. We're in radio. We're not the brightest people, but same token, it's easy. It's very easy to find those artists like yourself. And I put you in the same category as a guy like Isaac French or a young lady like Sydney Irving or other contemporaries that got going around the same time as yourself, like Clove and Abby Solves, right? Like you're all these very talented, very gifted songwriters, all from here that all have a distinctly unique sound, but somehow within all of it, maybe it's the 3 decades I've been doing this, I can hear Syracuse in
Yeah.
what you do, right? Like I can hear other places in what you do as well. I know you're very well versed in traveling around, but there is a certain Syracuse nature to what you do that is intrinsic. And it's captivating for me with somebody your age to have such a connection to an artist like Martin Sexton that
Yeah.
was like a big deal when I started my career at Stylene's all those years ago and would
Yeah.
in awe of him having a line around the block 2 hours before the show because it's GA and everybody wants to be up front.
Man, he is nuts. He was like the soundtrack to everything for us growing up. Um, he still is like a huge part of my whatever you want to call it, musical landscape or whatever that's important to me. He actually had this one record called Live Wide Open. Um, and that was the one really that we had in the car for all the trips growing up, and we knew every word of every song. And I think that kind of plays into why this EP was tracked the way it was too, or is part of the impetus for me wanting to do it that way because of that album specifically and a lot of others like it, but that being maybe the first or most prominent that was like a wow, it is amazing um, what moment you can share with an artist when you're going on the emotional journey of the song with them uniquely, one for one, without any other manipulation or splicing or anything.
Yeah,
Um,
you have certainly nailed it with this album. I can't speak highly enough about it. The other thing I want to shout you out for quickly before we forget to, because we don't need to promote it because you sold out your release show. We're not going to say where, just in case, right? Like, we don't want to overwhelm a business that's already going to be busy with a sold out show, but that's not something that happens a lot in central New York, regardless of the size of the room. So A, kudos to you for A, taking the initiative to do it yourself, right? Like as an old school 90s Syracuse hardcore dude, like DIY is a very intrinsic part of who I am. So when I see
yeah,
other people doing it on their own, not third partying it, right? Like giving up part of what they've earned for this show just simply
sure.
by letting somebody put your name in a block on a calendar, right? Like you went out, you did your own thing, and you're going to reap the rewards of that. I wholeheartedly respect that in ways I can't even explain. But the respect I have for you selling it out in a day is infinite, bro. Because as somebody that is kind of prior to radio or including time during radio, responsible for selling tickets, what you pulled off is kind of legendary now locally.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It it feels nice. I think it's more of a testament to everyone other than me because there is, contrary to popular belief, so many folks left who I think do believe in and understand the importance of live music and gathering in a room to feel the presence of song together. Um, so I don't necessarily take it as a metric for my own success, but it definitely feels um, it feels like an embrace and it feels nice. Um, I'm really excited for the show though. Yeah.
And here's what I'll say, right? As a 30-year veteran of this local music scene, it takes forever to get Syracuse to stand up and notice somebody. And in my opinion, you doing it in right about a year speaks volumes about what you're doing and your methodology for doing it. And I hope that this is something that other artists pay attention to, right? And go down the path and provide for themselves by doing the things the way that you have. So kudos.
Thank you.
I know we've got a limited amount of time. I have one last question for you about one song on the album. Comes out Thursday night, midnight, technically Friday. It's called Lucky Numbers Live at the Pantry. Man, Toad Apple
Yeah. Toad Apple.
caught me by surprise in the most charming way. Where at first, I'm not going to lie, I was like, yo, what is this? And then, literally, maybe two lines into the song, I'm enraptured by the story. And once it's done, you're just like, what just happened? And you feel like an immediate need to not finish the EP, but to go back and listen to that song again.
I love that.
It's so unique. And I know that there are some old time vibes to that. I know that it's probably rooted in some very old Americana.
Sure.
Your take on that and the charm that you have allowed that song to sort of embody as far as representing you is, man, to me that was when I put that EP on for the first time when you sent it to me. It was one of those things where I was trying to do two things at once because that's who we are as humans now.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Well,
I'm
you
going to
give us
fire off
much
a
of a
bunch of
choice.
emails while I listen to John's great new EP. And literally the minute that song started, I had to stop. It was one of those moments where you just go, wait a minute, what's happening? And you have to give it your full attention. And I hope that other people have that same moment with that song and that I haven't ruined it for everybody right now. But I will say this: the I can't use the word charming enough about that song because I don't want to use like the other words that are popping into my brain that I think aren't appropriate, right? Like cute is another one, right? Like there's just like
Cute's good.
an adorable nature to that song where you hear it and then it automatically just registers in your brain as like that's going to be one of my favorite songs forever.
Oh, I love that, man. That's great. Yeah, I have I really like that song. There was just there's so much of the musical experience that's rooted in like pain and suffering and grief and rightfully so. Like that's a huge part of our experience, and music is a huge part of I feel like how we navigate those waters. Um, and a lot of my love for music abides in emotions like that. I also feel like there are so many other points on the spectrum that are worth exploring, you know? And I grew up loving Shel Silverstein too, and I still do. And there's like a lot of those older kind of Americana or folk influences that you kind of hinted at too. But it, there are so many colors to paint with, and that's kind of just that was what we set out for with that song. Like I brought it to my producer, and he was like, "I just pictured this being like a like your grandpa's sitting you down on the couch as a kid to tell you the story, like Princess Bridey almost in a way."
Right.
But
Like a little golden book, but in song
yeah,
format.
sure, yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, I like what it I like the color it affords the EP too, where it sits in it and kind of how it contrasts what's next to it. But yeah, I love that you had that experience. And if I can pull anyone off of their email for a second, um, uh, I'm happy with the results.
Listen, man, you've got my full attention, and I think once this album is out, you're going to have the area's full attention as well. Incredibly proud of this piece of work that you have put together. It comes out
Thank you, my
Friday. It
friend.
is called Lucky Numbers Live at the Pantry. We're going to debut the title track Sunday night, 11 p.m., locals only. And I never do
Awesome.
this. I think I may have done this once previously, but I think it goes without saying that Lucky Numbers will also be the locals only spotlight next week, Monday through Friday, 6:05 p.m. Once you hear it, you'll understand why it's a no brainer that it automatically goes in. Uh, man, incredibly
Very
proud of the
cool.
work that you've put in. This album, EP, I think is going to be a big difference maker. I think people just need to hear it. And man, I cannot wait to see what comes next for you.
I'm excited too, man. Thank you for everything. And I always say it, but Scott, seriously, thank you for the ways that you champion us and rally behind our stuff. Because it's a lot of work, and you really selflessly give yourself and your resources to us, and I always appreciate it. So
Well, you are too kind, sir, and I appreciate your time tonight. Everybody, make sure that you pre-save Lucky Numbers live at the pantry. It's available on all streaming services as of midnight Thursday night. That would be
that's
tonight
right.
as far as when we're releasing this. So pre-save it. And hey, listen, if you're finding this in the future, just go to your favorite streaming service and search John Lunden, no H,
No
Jon
H.
Lunden. You'll find it. You'll fall in love with it, and we've got some big things in the hopper that we'll circle back to. But man, thank you so much for taking the time to chat tonight, and congratulations on a brilliant piece of art. I can't wait to see what the world thinks.
Dude, thank you so much. Lots of love. Lots of love.
We'll talk soon. This is the Locals Only podcast for 95X.